representative from every single group. So today we are going to talk about summer internship, which has been long waited for many of our Kyros members to ask us, what is this summer going to be? As we've done last 2 years, in 2021 and 2022, we offer summer internships with very specific project and the different roles for our students to practice their industry knowledge, to build the friendships and so on and so forth, and really make the most out of their summer. So in the next 45 minutes, we are going over 2023 summer internship projects and different roles we offer to Kyros students. We're going to listen to some of our 2022 summer interns from their testimonials, and we're going to share more details on the organizational structure and logistics, etc. Towards the end, we will reserve about 15 to 20 minutes, answer any questions that you may have on your mind. And as many of you know, lately we've changed. You can ask your questions through the chat to our host or co-host, and make sure we will prioritize the questions based on the timeline and answer as many as possible. So with that, I am super excited. I'm going to share a very quick video and just give you a little teaser what 2023.
Are you looking for summer internship opportunities? Join our Summer Internship 2023 Open House and be the first to learn about the programs. Kyros Summer Internship is facilitating 4 programs. Animation production. Learn animation skills mentored by lead Disney animator and see if this is a field you want to pursue seriously. Wall Street investment. Learn essential financial and investment concepts and gain valuable real-world experience. Social entrepreneurship. Learn entrepreneurial skills to make positive impact on the Kyros community. Mobile app development. Learn the skills and tools needed to build your own mobile applications from scratch. Curious to know more? Join the open house this Sunday and ask the speakers anything. Find the program and position that will help you achieve your goals. Register now. Are you looking for summer internship?
All right, let's dive into the details now. So why spend 6 weeks during summer, your precious summer, and to take an internship project or take on a role? There's a lot of value in summer internship, especially for middle schoolers or high schoolers. This is number one, this is a great exposure for you to gain, learning about college and the professional life. You are going to spend a lot of years and lots of money and make sure you are making the right choices. So here you will be able to work with top college professors and executives from industries and really get a good understanding out of that. Number two, you are going to be working with each other a lot, almost every single day. So you are going to foster friendship and connections. And who knows, maybe one day these people may become your recommender, or maybe your college friends. And it's super important is that college admission is not just about a score. They also wanted to know who you are as a person. There's nothing better than summer internship to speak about your personal qualities, your core values, and stand out and make an impact during your college application. And of course, there's a lot more to be done to prepare for college application. So here you may get a chance to really learn about the major and career paths and personal advancement. As you go through those 6 weeks, you are constantly going to encounter different problems and discuss with your team members and come up with solutions to solve those problems. So in that process, you are going to learn from first experience how to develop your communication, organization, and leadership skills. So you already have seen this video. We are going to talk about the animation project and hear from Mike, who is an adjunct professor at Art Center College of Design. And Mike has worked as a lead animator for Walt Disney for the last 20 plus years. Amazing, amazing work coming from him and his team include Lion King, Beauty and Beast, Little Mermaid, Chicken Little. The list is very, very long. And then we are going to hear from Justin, a hedge fund strategist, and also been working at BioFi.ai and got his degree from Rice University. We have Andrew, who is a student success manager at Kyros, got his PhD from University of Oxford. And Andrew has been spending a lot of time working with students in the past 10 years and really help them to understand their social emotional learning and how do they contribute to social entrepreneurship. And I will be covering the mobile project, very specifically. I'm a co-founder at Kyros, and we'll get into the details. So before we get started, I just wanted to give you some examples. Our past students who've joined the internship and have gained a great experience and able to write in their college application to help them get into very specific major. For instance, Andy, who was our intern back in 2022, was able to get into Stanford and major in biomedical computation. And Ija, who was our 2021 intern, currently studying at UT Austin in business school. And William, also from 2021 summer internship, now studying at UCLA in computer science. Vale, 2021 summer internship, currently at Cornell, computer science and a math double major. Nicole, 2021 summer internship, currently studying business major at UIUC. We seem to have a lot more 2021. James, currently at NYU Stern Business School. Zena, 2021 summer intern at UC Davis in data science major. And another one, David, from 2022 summer internship, currently at William and Mary. Many times we invite our graduated Kyros students to come and share with our current high schoolers, middle schoolers about their stories, their experience, good, bad, ugly, and they're gonna tell all of their stories. All right, now this is the time we also wanted to take a moment to congratulate our senior students of 2023, and some of the early admission results are already out and the regular admission results are being announced. So this list goes on very long, but we also wanted to point out there's a very strong correlation between the student took summer internship and truly stand out in their college admission and able to get into some wonderful, wonderful schools. So with that, I wanted to play a video from Isabella, who now got accepted to UT Austin and with honor program at Canfield Business. And she was our intern before.
Hi, I'm Isabella Zhang, and I participated in the 2021 Kyros Summer Internship Program in the product management team working on the online forum. I love this program because as a high schooler, it exposed me to a lot of college level materials and resources. For example, we were conducting customer interviews or doing PRD or working on a competitive analysis. And these were all led by experienced project leaders. Not only did it solidify my interest in business, but it also exposed me to a new area in this field. At the same time, I was also attending a Wharton summer program, and I used the knowledge that I learned from this internship to help me lead group challenges in the Wharton program, and it was super helpful. Right now, I'm a senior in high school, and I've heard back from University of Texas that I've been accepted to the Canfield Business Honors Program. I'm still waiting to hear from more of these colleges, but for those of you who are watching this and are just beginning your high school journey, I strongly encourage you to join the Kyros Internship Program because not only will you make a lot of new friends and learn a lot of new things,
Rebecca, looks like it's on and off. Do you want me to play this video instead?
Yeah, okay, let's
Hi,
just
I'm
move
Isabella
on
Zhang,
to the
and I
next one. I think it's a Wi-Fi issue, but let's keep moving here. What I would like to highlight here is Abby, who worked for our summer internship, and he now is actually got accepted into Purdue University College of Engineering, and also amazingly, he was able to receive a presidential scholarship of $10,000 per year. He also got accepted to various other colleges, but here's one thing that we got a thank you letter from Abby's mother that we are very proud and want to thank you for all the help. The Kyros summer internship he did in 2021 was a great experience which motivated him to form the computer science club at school. So for the sake of bandwidth issue, I think I'm just gonna skip this video. It is on Kyros website, so do please take a look if you're interested about Abby's experience. And with that, let me keep moving to the next one. I think this is really the most important part. We are going into specific project for 2023. And with that, let me introduce everyone, Justin, who's a hedge fund strategist at BioFi.ai, to talk about how he plans to lead the student to work on Wall Street investment project. Justin, over to you.
Thank you, Rebecca. So, as you all just heard, I will be the project lead this summer, mentoring the interns with my finance experience. Now, the first thing we want to do during this experience is to give you a fundamental sense of how things work in the world. And that means asking questions like, what is the global economy? How does an avocado get grown in a Mexican farm, harvested, shipped to your local supermarket, and end up in your kitchen without going bad? And what does finance have to do in coordinating all of this activity and making it possible, cheaper, safer to do these things? This is ultimately how we think about the investment challenge. When we want to make an investment, we want to predict that it is a valuable activity, it contributes to society, it makes our lives more fun and worthwhile, and that other investors aren't as good at predicting these things as we are. Next slide, please. So, who are these investors and what they do? This is where we go into learning about investment analyses. We will go over the basic tools of the trade, the stocks, bonds, commodities, and other instruments that investors use. We will talk about the different kinds of investors in the finance and their different goals, their different risk appetites, time horizons, performance metrics. The reason we do this is because we want you to figure out what type of investor you would want to be. And all of these factors end up creating different frameworks for investing and trading strategies. So there we will identify factors of success for businesses of interest and whether those businesses would make good investments for specific strategies. All of this will give you the foundation to build your own analyses. Next slide. We want to give you, during this summer, the gift of understanding the world of finance so that you can navigate it for yourself. And what do I mean by that, navigating it for yourself? Well, this is not just a classroom experience, it's a research experience. And as I will go over this summer to you, research is very different from classroom learning. It requires being curious about how the world works, exploring possible stories about how different things can happen, looking into uncertainties and how things can fail, and coming to a judgment on whether or not the people, the processes, the resources dedicated to making something happen in the real world are enough. It requires thinking about how you change those elements, the people, the processes, the resources dedicated to manufacturing an iPhone across 100 different countries and bring that product to your doorstep. It requires imagination, curiosity, a willingness to come up with ideas, to track down stories, to make those ideas better, and to be unafraid to fail in order to improve those ideas. So this is an experience where there are no right answers. The only right answer at the end of the day is whether or not a more experienced investor is interested in talking to you about your idea. And that's why a major part of our summer program will be on presenting your ideas to experienced investors. on giving you the techniques to reach out by yourself on your own to potential mentors who will see the value in the ideas that you work to build and will invest their time and energy into you and perhaps provide future opportunities for you. For our program here, you will choose one of 4 internship roles, either in banking, hedge fund, private equity, or venture. Next slide. And so for our timeline, in our first 2 weeks, we will cover foundational training for this internship project: economics, finance, how to conduct research, how to reach out to more experienced thinkers to get their feedback. These will all be critical tools that you apply over the next couple of weeks as we go over case studies in the 4 forms of financial analyses that we are focusing on. You will be asked to start researching ideas and finding professionals you'd like to pitch those ideas to. And in the 5th week, you'll finalize your project analyses. And in the final week, you'll present them to a panel of industry experts that I will have assembled for their feedback. I'll also ask you to perform a cold outreach assignment with the goal of scoring a mentor on your own. And that's because mentorship is so tremendously important. Finding the right mentors can catapult you into their networks and opportunities beyond your imagination.
Thank you very much. Let's go to next.
So for this summer project, all I really require of you is a willingness to pick up new concepts quickly and to use your imagination to explore how they may be applied. By the end of this experience, you'll have a strong applied.
Sorry, Justin, can you unmute? We had an audience who was speaking earlier. So if you could unmute, that would be great.
Okay. No worries. There we are. So, right. So at the end of this experience, you will have a strong applied foundation to continue exploring advanced macroeconomics, microeconomics, statistics, business, finance courses for your college preparations. But more importantly, what I hope you'll have gotten at the end of this is that you'll have explored a personal interest in some way that not only accelerates your timeline for summer internships, but will also give you the chance to know yourself more intimately, because your interests and how you pursue them is ultimately what sets the foundation for your college application process. Thank you.
All right, thanks so much, Justin, for giving us an overview of how the Wall Street investment program will run. And let's move on to animation production. And Mike, over to you. Mike, you need to unmute yourself, and
Okay.
if you could. And Mike has run this very successful summer internship program last year. Our students loved it. So quickly refresh anyone who joined a little bit later. Mike is a full-time professor at Art Center College of Design, but for the past 20 plus years, he also was a lead animator for Walt Disney and many of the amazing household animation movies. Yeah, please unmute yourself. You don't intend to speak, including The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid, Jack and Little, so on and so forth. So, Mike, over to you now. Should I play this?
Yeah, go ahead.
All the other 2022 summer interns. So let me try to play this video. So this one actually came from our 2022 interns. These are the middle schoolers and high schoolers. They had a blast to produce with Mike together. I remember some students' parents would say, well, we booked a cruise ship. Would you like to go? And the students said, no, I'm not going because I want to do the project. So congratulations, Mike. Huge shout out for your helping the students to really focus on their passion. So why don't you take over and tell us a little bit more how animation production is done?
All right, this is a quickie. Now, guys, in that presentation, that film you saw, that was all student work, all the animation, all the background, all the color, that was student production. Okay, this is more professional production. This is just going to show you the sort of the pipeline of animation production. This is how you first start off. You have an idea, and students will go into do some character design. It's kind of up to them to do it, and we go through it. We do a review process, and first thing comes is a story, what we're going to do. But this is it's the next line of the production is the design of the characters, the background. Of course, right before this is a story. We come up with a story. Of course, based on the story comes all these, the character design, the background design, the art design, that type of thing. And then you can go to the next one. And then, oh yeah, this is, well, actually, this is what I did years ago. Probably like before you guys were even born, I got a feeling. This is back on Lion King. It's a cycle, and that's part in the beginning. Part of what we'll be doing a production, but in the beginning, we'll be doing some exercises to understand and get introduced into the principles of animation. So this is a kind of an example of an exercise. We will be doing a treadmill exercise like that. That's a good example. And there we go. Work containment. So you can read that. You guys can read. Now, wait, I'm just going to go down to the production intern positions. My job, it's kind of twofold. I wrote this down. Whenever I'm talking with students at any level, partially my role is to introduce them into the personal and intrinsic value of this type of studio art work. How it's rewarding. But the second part is the introduction into the actual production aspect of your art. That is, how to make money doing it. So these jobs, you see storyboard artists, character design, layout, animators, production. These are production-based jobs. These are not just concept jobs. These are things that when you get this job, your work will be seen on the screen, for instance, or on the phone, or on a computer, and then hopefully, God willing, you will have a credit at the end of the production. That's what I mean by production-based jobs. Your work will actually appear on the screen. So these are just some listings of, actual real school, real time, real world applications of this type of thing. And doing your film, this is lots of times just getting into schools now in animation schools, more and more they're asking for examples of animation entertainment. But you students out there, you're pretty sophisticated now. There's lots of animation software available. You can get started. And if you haven't got started, this program is an example of how to get started. There's that one. Okay, here's a kind of a, we'll go into this more later in the general 12 principles of animation. These are principles that were developed by Disney as artists way back in the 30s, right here in Southern California. Training exercises. This is a general list of the stuff. Then we're going to the third. This is what we did last year anyway. Third week we started with an actual production story. What we're going to do. We can come up with the story and the organization of it. And then the fourth week we're actually going through designing it. Doing the storyboarding, designing the characters. Then we start animating it, and through one way we review the animation is via this file sharing service called Sync Sketch. And then, of course, towards the end, we're cleaning it up, we're putting the finishing touches on it. And the last week, of course, is the polishing touches and putting the sound on. So if you guys you want to get into Garage, go into GarageBand, come up with a nice tune, we'll use it. So the last one, was there one after this? Because I wanted to talk about what would, if you were interested, what would be necessary to get started. Because it's not just about like starting on the first day. You're going to be kind of required to have some hardware and software, and opening up an account in SyncSketch, for instance, and then partially we'll be going over how to work that. And don't worry, it's easy, very easy to understand all this stuff. Is there next slide? Okay, there we go. This is a little bit. Okay, just I guess requirements for class. You know, an iPad or a tablet of some sort hooked up to a computer. Rough Animator is a software. It costs $5. It's available on Windows, Mac, iOS. That's a iPad. You can, and then also SyncSketch. SyncSketch is the file sharing service in which it's used by, I use it at Center, use it at all businesses use it. It's it's a freeware. SyncSketch. Rough Animator costs $5 or $10 or something like that. SyncSketch is free. And that's how we learned file share, and then we go over, you can use that to go over drawings, to do what we call draw overs, to take, it won't be just description, it will actually be draw overs on actual animation and art. And it's a really nice thing. So that's just a really quickie, just a really quickie rundown of it. And the actual story, you know, that's going to be, I guess we're going to do something Kyros space, right? I'm not sure if it's going to be the exact same thing. You know, that's going to be kind of, Rebecca and Cindy will probably make a decision on that. But then that's going to be, you know, our job to make it as best we can. And last year, it was a big learning process. It turned out pretty well.
All right. So thank you very much, Mike. And I think all these tools or software, nothing our interns cannot manage. We will keep it at a minimum, but we will get them onboarded. I think itself carries its value as they learn how to use these software tools. So let's now move on to Andrew to tell us a little bit more about social entrepreneurship. So,
hey, everybody. Thank you, Rebecca. Hi, everyone. I see so many familiar faces and names here, so I just want to thank you all for coming out. I am a student success manager at Kyros, so you've probably seen me in counseling hours or in sprint programs or my name in emails and whatnot. And I'm familiar with many of you, so happy to see you here. And really excited to be talking about the summer internship, because that means that this insanely long winter here in Utah seems to be coming to an end. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel here. But I want to talk to you a little bit about social entrepreneurship and how it dovetails into a lot of the work that we're doing in Kyros in the field of social emotional learning and preventive mental health, and some of the resources we're really excited to build into Kyros and the exciting challenges that we're going to face in this internship. So to begin with, what's the difference between entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship? That's the first thing that we're going to sort of unpack as we discuss what this program is going to become. Social entrepreneurship is typically mission driven, right? So you may want to be involved in business. You may already find yourself in these leadership positions and interested in entrepreneurship, interested in startup world, Silicon Valley. Maybe you're a coder, maybe you just have the spirit of entrepreneurship. That's awesome. A social entrepreneur is someone that is trying to solve some kind of social problem in the world. So you tend to be more mission driven in the sense of, hey, you know, I see climate change as a big issue. I see there's some injustice or inequality I want to address, something along those lines, right? So your business is built around solving a problem much larger than yourself. Might be different than if you were to create a product or create an application, right? So that's the first thing you're thinking about here. How do we then take the spirit of social entrepreneurship and apply it into the Kyros platform? That's the questions that we're asking. It's something on the SSM team, frankly, we deal with all the time. How do we take our counseling knowledge, our teaching knowledge, and spread that and scale it up so we can benefit the most students as possible, right? So these are the interesting challenges that myself, the SSM team, in fact, all of Kyros, we're constantly thinking about. And the one factor that I think is going to be super cool about this internship is working with students and seeing what your thoughts are on this. What are the issues that you're identifying as teenagers, especially within the Kyros community? Well, what are some things that we can do to help provide, create more resources in these areas of social emotional learning specifically? And we'll talk about what that is as well. So we want to create deliverables. We want to have an inventory of resources. And that could look like many things. It could be videos, it could be workshops, it could be research that you do, little classes that we create. That's going to be part of the fun of this internship, is the students are going to have some agency in creating what these resources are going to be. Go to the next slide, Rebecca. So when we think about the deliverables, two ideas come to mind. We have two areas that I think would be awesome for students to be helping to build and engage in this area, right? So we have a Kyros forum. The forum is built by students from previous internships as well as our engineers. This could be an awesome place to create and build communities. We also have the Ed Journey, which some of you are already using. And when I think about the Ed Journey and some of the missions that we have, they're all about personal development. They're about refining our time management skills. They're about understanding emotions from a physiological level, from our mood, and sort of understanding all this stuff about ourselves helps us become the best version of ourselves, right? So how can students in Kyros identify which of these areas are most important to address within our community, and then create materials to help students understand these issues, right? So this is something to think about. If this stuff is interesting to you, psychology, education, these areas, social sciences, this is a really awesome opportunity to learn more about it and create resources, again, for Kyros students. Go to the next slide, Rebecca. So what are the requirements? First of all, if you're passionate about solving problems and issues at at that societal level, this is probably a good opportunity for you. These issues are huge, right? And they're ongoing, and no one person is ever going to solve them. So the willingness to collaborate with each other, to whether it's you're doing research or you're creating content or you're focus grouping some kind of idea or platform feature, we all need to work together to solve these problems. So collaborating is going to be a big part of this internship. And then just if you find yourself mission driven in a lot of the things you do, I think this is a great opportunity. So one of the conversations I have with a lot of you during counseling hours is about, who are you? What are your passions? What do you want to do? And I know for me, when I was 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, I really didn't know yet. I mean, I knew what my values were. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. And I didn't have that intrinsic passion emerging out of me just yet, right? So if you have a strong sense of what your values are, you can use that as a way to do something positive in the world and explore different opportunities. So that's one of the things I really love about this. It is a mission-driven kind of internship opportunity. So if you're exposed previously to entrepreneurship, or you find yourself interested in business, if you're interested in the field of psychology, sociology, social psychology, this is great. If you're interested in education, you want to be a teacher one day, or you're interested in curriculum design, this is awesome. And then I would say the timing of the Intro to Social Emotional Learning sprint program we have is perfect, because it's going to come in April, which would preface this opportunity here in the internship. And if you've enjoyed community service, you find yourself, always volunteering, doing things like that, this is probably also a good fit for you as well. And here's what to expect in terms of what you learn and the skills that would be developed here. So first of all, you're going to learn this unique approach to entrepreneurship from the social angle. You'll be leveraging your passion for helping others to gain skills and make a positive impact in the Kyros community. And that's going to be something you'll see directly. You're going to be literally creating materials that other students are going to benefit from. And for any of you that have taken the time management sprint or SEL sprint, the conversations we even have in these classes and how students begin to help each other or realize that a lot of the things that you're going through, other students are going through as well. Just that knowledge alone can be really meaningful. So I think it's going to be great on that level as well. We're going to research topics important to Kyros community members. So every community has its own set of challenges. We want to know what is important to Kyros students specifically. And then, as I said, we're going to create resources to help Kyros students out. The positions as we see them emerging right now, we have media content creator, right? So that might look like 30-second, 1-minute long videos, could be music, it could be curriculum that you design, it could be a workshop that you present, things along those lines. Curriculum development is what are the actual resources that we're creating in terms of the research you do and what data you're presenting or how you're presenting that, right? Product manager might be someone focus grouping or getting a sense of how to best present the features or content that we're creating. And the business analyst is how do we reach the most students? What are the actual issues? What are the problems going on within Kyros community, Kyros students? So there's going to be a mixture of that psychology, SEL piece, and then of course the entrepreneurship piece.
All right, thank you very much, Andrew. And you've been working with so many students, and I heard great feedback. So super excited about getting the social entrepreneurship started for this online community and really helping our high schoolers and the middle schoolers to deal with the ever-increasing stress. We also have a lot of STEM interested students. In every single industry, you can always use a little bit more computer development skills. And now it's mobile first. So let's talk a little bit about what Kyros has prepared for our students to really understand mobile application development. So here are the some of the samples, and this is going to be a Kyros mobile application. We're actually launching our version in April, and we expect this to continue to be improved and through iterations. So when you are on the mobile app, there are some very, very cool features here. Number one, our students are now able to receive all notifications through the mobile app, whether they have classes, they have events, they have conversations with their student success managers, or just say exam is coming up and I need to study, or I need to submit this application before the deadline. So notification is a very, very big component. And as you hold the mobile phone, wherever you are, you will be notified. Online community is a very important feature. And this is where your friends, you can exchange ideas, you can follow each other, you can even compete with each other in terms of the leaderboard. And just to have the sense of the community is always there for you, goes a long way to cope with the stress and college application, the confusion, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, there are many other features in the mobile app. For example, we are going to say, dear student, this is the time for this week. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve? How do you prioritize it? And what assistant would you need? Whether it's online resources or some new videos, we're going to tell you about this college news, or this summer internship is really cool, everybody's raving about it. So now you can design your goals and start achieving your goals step by step. So those are all made very, very easy through mobile application. So here in mobile, we are going to have mainly two teams. The first team is got a UI UX design team. So UI is a user interface, UX is user experience. So this needs to be made fun, engaging, and meaningful. We have Anna, who is our creative director, going to lead that UI UX design team. And here are some of the works. Actually, this is all done by our students, believe it or not. So Anna's been working with many students previously, and our students will come up with concept, right? They have a companion, they have a friend, and Anna will work with them to turn that into a mobile app character. And not only a character, but they have accessories. As you do more in your mission, you are able to unlock some of the accessories, maybe a snowboard, and maybe a headset, maybe some other devices you will get. So this is going to be led by Anna and working with our UI and UX team to come up with this really cool characters, accessories, and also wireframe design. So here is the schedule, more or less, for UI UX design process. So week 1, our students will be able to get a debriefed on some of the modules they will be working on. And then they are going to start using a tool called the Figma. This is where our UI UX designers will be creating their work, the concept, their characters, their accessories in the tool. It's a software called the Figma. And this is where our lead designer will be sharing comments and criticizing, and to make sure our students' wireframe design is made very sensible, intuitive, and a meaningful flow. And of course, in the following weeks, we are going to say how all this is going to be baked into your features, different buttons, the look and feel, and where does the button make sense on this screen. And keep in mind, mobile app is more challenging than the PC app in the sense you have a very, very limited real estate. And what goes in, what goes out, and these are the critical thinking we want our students, when they design, they start really putting all those pieces together and come up with something that's very, very usable. And followed by the final presentation, I have a couple of examples from the previous 2022 summer internship, and you will get a sense of what the final presentation would look like. Then we also have a coding team, and this is mainly for students really wanted to get a good understanding and honing in their development skills. So here you're going to be using different software. You are going to install some software and tools in the libraries. Without going into too much technical details, you're also going to be learning what are the mobile app principles. Like I said, the authentication, the publishing, whether it's going to be on Android or iOS, a different environment. What is the environment for development? What is the environment for testing? And what is the environment you actually going into production, meaning real users will be clicking those buttons that you design and you coded in. So week 3 and week 4, we are going to advance into different modules, more complex features, and really for our students to learn from experts how to code efficiently. And then, of course, don't forget, once you code, you have to do integration testing, making sure all the pieces are coming together, working as it intended. In week 6, we are going to finish up, and every team members will start doing their presentation and getting a feedback or evaluation from the experts. So here are some of the wireframes in 2022 our student designed, and they have to emphasize the layout in a small screen. Where do you put all the buttons? And what is the workflow? When you click this button, where do you go next? And the next screen, what do you do? So all that is in the mobile UI, UX design, but also we expect students to go into more complex features to actually code those features into how everything is going to come together and work smoothly. So with that, let me also go into some of the logistics, organizational, just like you are in a working environment. You have coworkers, you need to collaborate, but you also have you're gonna report to your manager if you may. So we have 2 program directors here with us. We have Andy, who is a student success manager and studied social science history from University of Chicago. We also have Jennifer, who is our program director, and she came from a very strong education consulting background and also worked in the IT industry and look at a workflow, automating that. She received her MBA and BS of engineering. So those are the team lead that our students will roll under. And among each team, they also going to have a team lead for specific group and the project leaders. So you have 3 levels of hierarchy. Starting on the top, your program director, then you have a project leader, then each group has a team lead. So we're going to learn a lot of the organizational skills, a lot of communication skills, collaboration, so on and so forth. In terms of the internship schedule, again, this is a 6-week program, pretty intense. You're going to learn a lot. We're going to grow very, very fast together. We are starting on June the 16th, and the last day presentation will be on August the 3rd. So hopefully our students can still get some time for vacation and other things. There is a holiday break for Independence Day weekend, so there will be 5-day break in between. The time commitment we expect from our student will be minimum 10 hours per week. And we will be opening for enrollment April 1st throughout the whole month of April. Now, once the internship starts, our team will learn how to collaborate with each other. So we have all hands meeting, just like in a company, making sure all the important tasks, priorities, communication issues we identify are being raised on all hands meeting. And those typically take place on Friday. And that will be 5 p.m. Pacific time, or you can think of it as 8 p.m. East Coast time. The final presentation is pretty important. Everybody's going to showcase their work and the things they learn in their specific area. But they also going to receive a lot of feedback, suggestions, or constructive criticism from our lead instructors and other project managers and program directors. So the final presentation, and don't miss that, that's on Thursday, August the 3rd. There are mandatory project meetings which will be discussed among their team members to see what works best for all the team members.